Hello, I'm Mandy Swift, your online marketing personal trainer. Now, are you one of those people that just wants to run a mile every time you hear the words SEO? Maybe you know how important SEO is for your online marketing success, and yet it's a subject that's so shrouded in technical jargon, it's so deep, it's so full of hype, it's so full of people trying to sell you products that you don't even know if you really want or need them, that you'd really rather just run away and leave the whole subject to someone else. Well, if that's you, then welcome to this video, because what I want to do here today is just give you a real broad, basic foundation. I want you to leave here confident that you have the basics in mind of what good SEO is, what it means to you, and how to implement it on your site without a ton of time and without spending a ton of money. Now, if you want all the technical jargon, I'm going to give you some links in my blog of people that I definitely recommend you go and pick their brains if you want to take this whole thing up a notch and get a lot more advanced. But for the purposes of this video, I'm aiming it at you, the first timer to SEO, who just wants to really understand what this whole subject is and be able to put it into little categories that you can understand and make sense of. Now, before we get started, just so that you know how untechnical and how un-SEO I really am, I just want to say that my very first blog didn't even used to attract the spam bots. I never even used to get any spam comments on my first blog for about a year. And when the spam bots finally started crawling my site, I was just going, yippee, well, at least somebody out there online knows I exist. So we want to get past that real basic level and understand how to get confident about attacking this subject. So what is SEO? Well, in a nutshell, SEO is just the process of getting your website or your blog ranked higher in the natural organic search engine rankings. It's the process of, first of all, getting the search engines to find you, and then it's the process of enticing them to dish you up so that your visitors can find you. That's SEO in a nutshell. So you need to know how to divide the subject up. So let's divide it into two very broad brushstrokes. You've got your online SEO or your on-site SEO, and you've got your off-site SEO. Now, on-site SEO is everything that you do on your website or your blog to attract the search engines to you. And off-site SEO is everything else that you do around that. So let's start on-site. Now, again, without getting technical or complicated, I'm going to highly recommend that if your website is not currently hosted on a WordPress platform, if you don't currently have your blog on a WordPress platform, then that really is the place you need to start. You need to go away and seriously consider getting yourself on a WordPress platform, because that way you're going to be able to take advantage of some really great free tools that's going to take the headache out of this whole subject for you. It's going to do a lot of the background donkey work for you without you having to worry about it. So that's the first thing to consider. Now let's look at on-site a little bit more, and again we can divide it out into two broad brushstroke areas. You've got your keywords. They are the search terms that people type into Google in order to find you in the first place. So you're going to need to do a little bit of research and find out the keywords related to your product or your niche so that you can incorporate those on your site. Now, when we're looking at keywords, you're going to use those keywords in three main places. You've got the actual words on your website or your blog. You're going to use your main keywords in that writing. Now, the second place you want to place your keyword is in the title of your website or your blog. Okay, it's got a scary name called a meta tag. It essentially is just the keyword in the title of your blog, and it wants to be the main keyword that you want to get found for. And then the third place that your keyword needs to appear on your site is in every picture. Now, Google cannot see pictures. Google only sees words. So every time a search engine scans your site and there's a picture there, it just sees a blank space. So essentially, you want to put your keyword into that blank space in the form of an alt tag, in the form of a keyword on your picture, so that the search engine has something that it can relate to when it gets to that picture. So those are your on-site keywords. And then you have your internal linking. Now, internal linking is just the method of linking one page to another page, or one bit of content to another bit of content. And Again, without getting technical, without needing to know all the jargon, without needing to know the whys, just know that Google loves internal linking. Internal linking is going to give you serious Google brownie points, so you want to be doing it. Now, if you're on a WordPress platform, there is a great plugin that you can go search out, and it's called SEO Smart Links. Once you have that in place, it's going to do a lot of the donkey work for you. But you just need to know that you want to rank, you want to link keywords from one page to another page, keywords from one post to another post. So that's your on-site SEO in a nutshell. Our keywords and our internal linking, because Google loves it. Now let's turn our attention to all of our off-site SEO. And off-site SEO is basically all of the links that come from external sites into your site. And again, Google loves it. Google is going to use that as an indication of how important your site is. The more links that come into your site, Google calculates the more important you must be. So there are a number of ways to go about getting external links. The first is to link into other authority sites, other sites that Google has already ranked and placed as very important. Now you can do this really easily in your social media. If you've got your posts on Facebook linking back to your blog, your posts on Twitter, on YouTube, on LinkedIn, if they are coming into your blog, then you're going to be able to borrow a little bit of that importance from those external sites and transfer it to your own. So that's your social media activity. And then you've got your article writing, you've got your video making. It's all going to help with those external links. Now, if you've had a blog for a little while, you may well have received emails from people offering you link exchanges. You know, you put a link on my site and in return, I'll put a link on mine, that sort of thing. Know this, two-way links are completely useless in the eyes of Google. If you have a link coming into your site, it needs to be a unique and independent way. It needs to be a one-way external link. So Facebook coming into you is great. YouTube coming into you is fantastic. But you going back and forth to someone else who's also not very important in the eyes of Google, it's not going to be worth very much. However, that said, there is a way that you can syndicate, if you like, your links. And that's by building what's known as three-way links. So instead of you partnering up with one other person and exchanging links, you get a threesome going. Now, if you have a threesome going, you can all link into each other's site. So let's say we've got Bill and Dave and Sue. Now, Bill is going to link into Dave's site. That's a one-way link. And Dave is going to link into Sue's site. That's a one-way link. And then Sue is going to complete the love triangle and she's going to link back to Bill. So everyone has a one-way unique link and yet everyone is helping everybody else. So you can go about building links on an artificial basis, if you like, that way, but just don't bother with these spammy emails that you may have seen. So very broad brushstrokes for you. You've got some plugins that you can use on your WordPress site to help your internal linking. You can also use plugins to help your actual posts get found and ranked on Google. And I'm going to give you those in my blog post. I'm going to give you links to learn much more in-depth ways of mastering this subject, but I hope what I've given you here is just a basic understanding that now you know what this hot potato really consists of and you know how you can go away and tackle it. I hope it's helped you. I hope it's given you some food for thought. Please, I'd love to hear your comments below. Let me know ways that you've approached SEO. Let me know maybe the SEO disasters that you had when you first started. Let me know if you think it's a scary subject or not. I'd love to hear your thoughts and comments. If you think this video is going to be useful to somebody else, then please share it on. Take care, happy marketing. I will see you next time.